Good. Hello everyone, we are here with another set from T90 Sudden Death Cup, or tsdc for short. I didn't do this last time, but anyone can put in the chat. Oh, is it not going to work? Well, that would be really inconvenient. Okay. I was just about to show off the nice command I'd set up, but then it just didn't work. Let me see. I did set it up, so we'll see. I guess we'll see if that doesn't. Maybe it'll fix itself in the future. That'd be nice. Or did I write it wrong? I'll keep an eye on that. In theory, that should give you a link to the Discord, but I'll head back to that later if that's an issue. But yeah, so tournament has started. We're in the group stage. I think there's still a couple of weeks left, although I don't think the playoffs start until the New Year's. But here we are in the Knights bracket. We're taking a look at a match between PickledCabbage and OrangeMamba. We see here the home map pick for Mamba is Hamburger, and on the other side is going to be Aredo Aya. And the admin pick, game number 1, is going to be Brood War. Two of the hybrid maps. There's also Lagoon is also heavy water focus, and Accurate does have water, but it's actually not quite so important. I know that Mamba does enjoy hybrid maps, so Hamburger makes sense as a home map pick here. And for picks, we had Koreans were first, which were banned, which is very sensible. Koreans are very good on Hamburger. We'll get into more details there if we see the map, but Tower Rush and Navy is super important, and the Koreans are quite good at both of those things. So very reasonable ban there, I think, or snipe rather, I should say. And then picking the Chinese, Dravidians, Poles, and Saracens. Chinese, Dravidians, well, I was going to say both can do Navy, and they can, but, you know, I would probably say Dravidians is like a backup pick in case Koreans get sniped. Something interesting about this particular draft, because there is a snipe at the end of things, you do want to make sure if you have like one pick that is very good for one of your maps, you have a backup pick for that map, because it could get sniped and then you could run into quite a bit of trouble. So Mamba has Dravidians as a backup. That's probably going to be the pick for Hamburger. We'll see. And then Poles and Saracens. I'm not sure what Poles are for, to be honest. Farming is kind of tricky on Aredo Aya. I guess you could do it on Brood War. Oh, there's the Nightbot coming in really slowly, but okay, that's good. So that command does work. And there's the Discord invite if anyone wants to join and see more info. So no one can join now, but in the future you can join one of their events. So I'm not sure what the Poles' pick is going to be, like I said. Now you could wall off on Brood War. There's quite a bit of space for the farming there, but otherwise I'm not quite sure. Saracens, I think, are generally a pretty good pick on Sudden Death. Having the market is just generally a good usage. Get them quickly. You know, in theory, Cast Drop could be good for them because they could get to Mamluks, though they're quite expensive. Also, the Archer Line is good for breaking down walls, which is quite nice. In theory, if you had Crossbow Mass, I think it does outrange a TC. So, in theory, that could be another option. Kind of be surprised if we get there, but on the other side for PickledCabbage, we have Italians away and Byzantines, which were sniped, and then Vietnamese and Khmer. So, you can see how, like, again, Italians, Byzantines, both sort of water sieves. Byzantines being sniped, so Italians will probably be the pick on Hamburger. You could choose them on Brood War too, but I just don't know what else you would choose. Khmer, you know, again, they're fairly flexible. Vietnamese, also fairly flexible. The way they could be nice here, something nice about them on Sudden Death is the fact that they, you know, there's only one town center. So any way you can add more eco, be that through like fish or like relics or something, is quite good. So the way, of course, if they research an economic upgrade, they get a free villager. So that could be actually a pretty big deal. Losing vills and gaining vills is a really big deal in Sudden Death, because you have a much smaller sort of avenue for getting more vills. Adding the TCs is a really big deal for developing your eco, but of course you do not have that in Sudden Death because we only have one town center. So my prediction, Brood War, let's see, game 1. I'm not sure, actually. Maybe it's going to be like Chinese versus like Khmer or Vietnamese. I think Chinese just like a decent all-around civ. I don't like them as good on hybrid maps, but you can, depending on the spawn in Brood War, which we'll get into, you could be further away from your opponent, so you might have to worry about getting up the navy super fast. But you know, Chinese could be an option. I think Chinese versus Khmer is my guess. Aredo Aya, I don't know what we'll see. Maybe whichever one's left between Khmer or Vietnamese versus like Poles, I guess, like a tower rush. I guess that is another element I didn't think about. Poles do like to tower rush because their stone villas create some gold, so that could be an option on Hamburger, but I think Dravidians is definitely going to be on the Hamburger. But we'll see. Let's go ahead and get into game number 1. Make sure everything's running here. And everything looks to be working. Good. All right, so we have here in the teal pickled cabbage with the Vietnamese. Yeah, it was the Vietnamese here, which I don't mind. On the other side, not Chinese, but we have the Saracens in the blue. And I'm actually gonna, I think this combination is fine between teal and blue. Well, maybe actually, I mean, I don't know. If anyone has complaints, they can raise them. To me, it seems like it's just a little easier between teal and red than teal and blue. The blue is, it's pretty distinct from the teal. Teal's more green in it. But also, I'll just note, if anyone else is casting OrangeMamba, don't don't go into your temptation to put him as orange, because I believe he is colorblind, at least to orange, or you know, he struggles to differentiate the color, which I am sympathetic to, because the blue and purple in this game, which is a combination we end up actually sometimes, since the blue is what you get if you don't pick a color, and people do like purple, which I like purple, but they're very hard to distinguish. But yes, in any case, so it's going to be the Saracens versus the Vietnamese. And you can see these TCs they're further away. It's possible for both players to spawn here and here. Other spawn would be the furthest away, which is over here. But here we have kind of like an in-between spawn. So it's super important to make sure you scout the map and scout which slot your opponent's in, because that can determine what you want to do, right? If you imagine if they're further away, you could get away with the fast castle, or, you know, you just go up to feudal and then maybe try a forward, then fast castle, get walls up, etc. It just kind of changes your strategy up quite a bit. And you can see PickledCabbage is going to do that strategy. Oh, wait. Right, we're Vietnamese. We actually don't even need to scout this, but we're going to keep an eye on... We're going to go forward and start scouting things. I think it might be more valuable, to be honest, to push deer as the Vietnamese here, but, you know, we'll see how that goes. 5 on wood. It's the exact amount we want to have for a hybrid build. Slight inaccuracy here. There should be one of these bills over here, but not a huge deal. Distribution is quite nice there for cabbage. Now, I'm familiar with both of these players. I've seen them around. I could be wrong about this. I think PickledCabbage is married to another player, Savarios, another community tournament player. We actually played, we did some practice in the Specialist Cup last year, and then we were in the same bracket in the Homeland League 2, which is hosted by this dino. I could be wrong about that. I could be misremembering, but I've also seen PickledCabbage just around in general. So Mamba's going forward. Hasn't actually scouted the TC yet, but if you saw the scout coming this way, you might, you know, anticipate this is where they are. Oh, that's... I think that was in range, actually, but... okay, we were safe there. That's not a huge deal. And I think something we probably should have done is check the shoreline. This was an unloomed vill, so we could have picked that off. I don't think we would have stopped the dock from going up, but could have at least seen it. But at least we know where our opponent is now. And we actually can see... We haven't seen the walling just yet, which would be nice. But, oh. Forward vill. Now, this could be for a forward dock, or it could just be for walling. We're going up to 20 vills, getting loom. And yeah, PickledCabbage. So this is something you can do when your opponent spawns further away. You can just spend your time walling up and go for a fast castle, which I think is what Cabbage wants to do here, which I don't mind. It does sort of give up the dock to your opponent, but it's not the end of the world, especially since it's sudden death. The timing advantage can be a really big deal depending on what you are looking to do. Something else to note about this map is that all of the stone is outside of your starting base. So there's no stone here. There are stone on this island, and there's stones over here in the neutral sections and on this island. But yeah, it's going to be a forward dock from Mamba, which I like. You have the scout to cover this. Make sure we're not picked off. And yep, I think it's just going to be fast castle from Cabbage. I don't know what fast castle into. Vietnamese don't have very good monks. And the other thing that's kind of awkward, like I said, like if you want to get stone, you have to sort of plan around it, right? Like you wall up like here, but you need to have sent 4 vills out earlier or at some point in the future, right? So that could be a big advantage that Mamba has here, which is the fact that docking here means we can kind of control and keep Cabbage here in the corner, which can also be a big deal in the long term. But as of right now, it's not really that that concerning. We're walling up here, which is good. I like that. We don't really need to rush it though, since our opponent is going for castle age. Of course, we don't know that just yet. Oh, a galley. Interesting. So this should really be a fire instead. Like a, if you imagine if your opponent's going fire and you're going fire, that's what you, or rather, sorry. If your opponent opens a fire and you open a galley, your galley just dies. A single fire is better. This is actually, in this case, it's going to work out since our opponent is not going for fast feudal. And maybe that was the, we realized this. So the guy's actually more useful because it can, you know, hit vills if they want to come over here and try and transfer something like that. But either way, it doesn't really matter because our opponent isn't creating any navies. So we should be able to take this back unless they go for the castle age upgrade. Taking the deer now. Looks like we might be a little bit short on food, but we should click up fairly soon after. Shouldn't be a big deal. Adding the blacksmith. I kind of would prefer to reinforce the walls with it, but this is also fine. At some point, you'll find that a big danger on this map can be if you lose your water, which is, you know, this will be the case. We'll see if Mamba is able to use this. If you lose this water, then your opponent can transport and hit your TC. So at some point, you might have to wall here. We don't have to do that right now. And I like the outposting, of course. But again, one thing we have to worry about using up our stone is it's very awkward to access more stone. And also as the Saracens, we like to sell it. But again, I don't mind it. It's still good to have. But yeah, the galleys are going to kill the fishing ship. Now, a fire is going to come out, and that's actually a little awkward for us if you see how tight it is here. But we did kill the fishing ship, so I think that's still more important for us. I mean, it is also true, right, that, like, I don't know if, I'm not sure if you can really, like, if there's any way to kill a transport ship easily here. Because even if you have, like, all of your navy here, it's such a short distance to transport. Maybe it doesn't matter between a fire and a galleys, but yeah, this is kind of awkward. This is the, it's not a big deal. Like, this is still okay. We still killed the fish, so that's what we wanted, right? We have our fish working back home. A little awkward they're working on shore fish, but this is completely uncontested, so. I mean, I wouldn't mind it, actually, if we had, like, 2 galleys and a fire. Like, if we had a fire in front and 2 galleys, then we kill everything they have, and we kill land units way better, but. Hope we don't lose our scout, though. Okay, good. Pull it back. But yeah, so our opponent is going castle age, so I like that we went for the forward dock. Now, what is this going to be a castle age into is what I'm wondering. Drop the gate. Okay. The stone walling is also good. This can be a sort of point of contention, right? Like, your opponent sort of ramming this, or a castle here, or a tower rush or something. But that's not going to happen, right? We're just going to go up. I like this. We have farms. So the fish is good here, right? But there's not that much. So you will want to invest into the farms there. I actually would have liked maybe like a couple more fish from Mamba here. It's not a huge deal. I don't mind building it into farms instead. But I do like the outposting. One part we are missing is probably an outpost over here, because we could transport over here. But we'll see. We'll see what the plan is here. Equal upgrades for both players. So the castle age time is better for Cabbage, but again, you think about how threatening is it really? Because they don't really have good monks, the Vietnamese. You could get some knights out, And, you know, so knights could be a threat to palisade walls, but we still have enough time, right? They have to travel all the way here. We have vision. So I'm, you know, if I'm Mamba, I'm not that scared. I do like that we are building up our fire galleys. I think we could probably repair this dock. I mean, I don't mind that it's building outposts. I like that as well. We could probably be repairing this dock, though. We'll see if that comes to fruition. This is about to be 3 versus 3, but the 2, or these will hit first. Okay, so our range is up. Do we see that? Oh, we don't actually see that. Do we have Town Watch? No Town Watch. Ah, Town Watch from Teal here. So that's actually something I really recommend on... So I actually think it's good in general, but especially Sudden Death. Picking up Town Watch is a big deal. Oh, this is a classic. Forgot our second building. I've been there. Yeah, that hurts. It's still okay, right? Like, look, our opponent still doesn't even have... Doesn't have Bodkin, doesn't have Crossbow. The Siege Workshop is at home. And now the fires are out. And now this is kind of an awkward spot for Teal, where we lost our fires. We don't have the Castle Age upgrade, and so it's just like, I think we just have to give this up. I think we just want to wall towards the edge here and just give up on that. Okay, now we're going to stone, which I like. It's a little vulnerable, this spot, but our opponent hasn't docked, and we have pretty good vision, so it should be pretty secure. And we still don't know what our opponent's doing yet, so it's kind of a... We actually see a second dock. I'm not sure... I mean... Ooh, actually the demo could be... Oh, okay, that could have been a lot worse. If it hit the clumped up mass there, it would have been really rough. I mean, I don't mind this per se, but maybe I would have liked it, I don't know, in a different spot. It just feels like it's covering the same space. Like, maybe if you somehow got it over here. But, you know, if you're really worried about doubling down on the water, then I guess that's fine. I mean, it's okay. I honestly, I still think it might be better here, like defensively. If you imagine it covers more fish. But, I mean, we'll see. We're going to make sure we secure the water, which is a very good resource on this map. Less so for the fish, to be honest, and more just for the, like, the access to your opponent's town center. And also to block them in, right? Like, I mean, Cabbage still has quite a bit of gold, right? This isn't going to run out anytime soon, but we have no way to gain stone, and we also can't go out this way. So at this point, like, a transport ship wouldn't really work anymore. Another demo ship. I think what Cabbage really missed out, it's really tricky here, because you don't know when there's a flag how many ships are behind it. Oh, that's a nice demo hit. But yeah, we missed, like, getting the Castle Age upgrade ourselves. And then we lost all our fires. I think if we picked it up, we could have pushed this back a lot better. But hard to say. It's also hard to say if you want to invest on that in this map. So refreshing a lumber camp could be nice. You see Mamba refresh the lumber camp. That's quite nice. I don't know if we need to get onto this stone right now. Or sorry, gold. But I don't mind it either. It'll be good in the long term. Oh yeah, the market... Yeah, the market was late anyways, which is rough, because it's also cheaper. Oh yeah, see, now we're getting the upgrade, but our opponent has upgrade already, and it's just a little too late, unfortunately. That being said, we don't have crossbow yet, which we do need. And we have a mangonel. I think we give this up. I don't think there's any chance we do anything with this. Now we go forward. If you ask me, you go forward with your military and try and make something happen. You can see how Mamba doesn't have anything, right? It's just walls. We've invested all of this here, which is good, I think. But it means we're exposed back home. And I think this could land Cabbage in quite some trouble, getting a little too fixated on... I mean... like, this is... It's good to contest this, but I don't know if it's really worth it, because we're not putting any... A third dock! Okay. This is totally overkill. I don't think we were producing out of our second one. We don't need to... It's okay if we lose this. Also, maybe that's the problem here. I think maybe for Mamba, we're really worried about losing this now because we invested so much, but it's honestly, it's okay if we lose this. But hey, also, I mean, I guess if you're gonna triple down on it, yeah, you still want to try and contest. Mangonels are actually kind of awkward on this map. We have 1,000 stone though, which is really good for the Saracens. We can get a castle up, or we can just sell it. I mean, you could just sell it and go to Imp and, like, have a less crazy like a castle here or something, right? You just need like 3 trebuchets and this town center dies really quickly. But, I mean, yeah, still after everything, it's still kind of even between both players. I mean, we're both sort of floating res. I don't think Mamba's gonna lose this. No, I don't think... I mean... Maybe we do lose this. I mean, it's contested, right? No one... Oh, we're getting careening. We don't need this. This is not that valuable to us unless we're transporting and dropping a castle. But I like this. I mean, I kind of wish it was on a... Well, this is fine, though. I mean, you know, it covers this minerals. And this is funny. I don't know if... I don't think Cabbage saw this, but... We're actually just dropping... we're dropping a castle here. So this castle makes this castle kind of sad. But luckily, we're quite far from Imperial Age. Okay, yeah, now the crossbows are coming out. Things might start to get kind of awkward for Mom, but this is where... I think we got a little too fixated on the Navy. Because we have, like, literally no army here. I mean, well, we'll see. We'll see how things play out. Again, neither player is that close to Imp. And Mamluks aren't even that good here, right? Because our opponent has crossbow units and Rattans are decent enough. But... yeah, okay. So, yeah, okay. This is good. If we're going to invest this much in Navy, I want to see you justify it. The only thing is... okay, we're going to take this res. I mean, I like that too. I just don't know if we can do much with this now. We can buy the castle, but then now that we know our opponent has army around, I don't know if it's really safe enough to try and do a castle drop. Oh, wow, we just sneak past. Okay, interesting. Now we're going to buy the stone and just drop it here. Does this get denied? We have the Navy. 7 crossbows. They don't have ballistics. It's a few fire lancers. I mean, the Navy's pretty good. We missed our quick rolls a little bit. So we're missing this gap. I mean, these are Saracen galleys. It's not that many vills, though. There's 10 vills. I'm about to lose a few of them. Castle's pretty far up, though. I think we need to focus our galleys. Look, they're shooting at the house. I think this still goes up. Okay, it does go up. So we have a couple of options. We either YOLO petards now, or we try to go up to Imp. I think Cabbage is going to go up to Imp first, but it looks like... which is, I think... I'm not sure if that's the right or wrong move, to be honest. It's super awkward to say now, because... like, you kind of need to kill this castle. This is really dangerous. But you'd have to do it with rams, and it's like rams against Mamluks doesn't do anything. I think maybe we just need to stonewall. Yeah, maybe we need to stonewall here for Cabbage and just like keep the crossbow here, get ballistics. We have a castle. It is a Vietnamese castle, which aren't very good because they don't have masonry. But we have a castle on a hill. Okay, yeah, we're stonewalling. I'm not sure what the range is of this castle exactly, but I like this. What is Mamba going to do? Do we want Imp? We're kind of far from Imp. Three docks to fish boom. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. Sorry, I didn't think about that. Yeah. The only problem is we didn't fish boom. So now it just looks awkward. So, you make a good point. I didn't think about that. And hey, Tom. Yeah, we'll be casting your set after this. Now, I like this stonewall, but the funny thing is we didn't finish it. So, I mean... Mamba could also just sit some Mamluks here would be nice. I also still don't know, like... I have a feeling Mamba doesn't know what our game plan is right now. But we needed to either click up to Imp or just make a bunch of petards. And, like, get a siege workshop up. Or we're gonna go for another castle, which is... like, you could get Mamluks over here and try and get another castle up. That could be an idea. But right now, we're just giving our opponent time to... defend this, right? Because once they're up to Imp, well, I mean, our gold looks pretty bad too, right? There's still enough gold to make some trebs. We don't have a lot of army. Okay, we do have ballistics. I don't know, this is like... This has gotten super messy, to be honest. But we can make trebs. We get free conscription as Vietnamese, which is really nice. Okay, is Mamba gonna go for a forward castle, like, on the TC? I like that play. Especially since our opponent did not finish the wall, although we can't even see that, which is funny. Treb is coming in. This could get sniped by Mamluks too. That's a big threat with Trebs. You have to be really careful. I mean, we could actually just try dropping a castle here, to be honest. Is that... I think that might be... Okay. Do we have a university? Because this is where we definitely need to get masonry. The Mangala comes forward. I don't think it can range the Vils, though. The archers can kill the Mamluks, but there's not that many of them. The Mamluks don't have, like, any upgrades. Oh, it does range the... Oh. Okay, we killed the Mangonel. It's just there's 2 Vils. I don't think this one goes up. I don't think this one goes up. And now we're in a really awkward state, actually. Yeah, that's a good point. We have the transport bonus, too. I totally forgot about that for Saracens, you know? They are tankier as the Saracens. And they even carry more units. That's not really good anymore, but yeah, now we have Trebs. We can still go up to Imp, though, for Mamba. This isn't over. We don't have we're not going to have a castle back home, which is really awkward. But, you know, with the Trebs unprotected, doesn't really matter that much. Oh, we're going to lose this castle. Okay, we need to get up to Imperial Age now. We can't stop this anymore. Okay, good. We're going to Imp. But that is 3 minutes. So we need to make, like... Make some light cav or just some knights or something, right? Something to snipe these. Because this is, 3 trebs is... I think it's literally just 2 volleys with 3 trebs. Okay, but can Cabbage get to the chase? Because we only have 7 crossbow. We don't even have bracer or chemistry in. Those are going back out. Those are going back in here. Yeah, see, look at that. 40 capacity. We are taking the stone. Also, I don't know if... I guess Cabbage just bought the stone for this because... I didn't see, like, any stone being mined. I could be wrong. Oh, no. No. We need to go forward. Why are we... This is a waste of time. Oh, this is what the docks are for. You see, you have 3 docks because... When one of them goes down, we still have 2. And then when this one goes down, we still have 1. I mean, we're getting Bracer. I mean, I get that we don't know, like, what our opponent has, right? They could have anything. But, like, no, we can't. No, Cabbage, we're wasting our time. We need to go forward. Look at this. This would go down in 2 seconds. And this TC would just be dead. Oh, no. This is the ultimate power of the naval play. The Saracen galleys are going to deny all of this and have confused our opponent into investing way too much. Okay, we're going to grab this stone, though. That's good. Floating tons of wood. It's kind of awkward, right? Because you don't really boom on this setting. But it's why, you know, we kind of need more production. But also, we've been out of gold. So that's another reason it's been super awkward to be stuck in the corner. Yeah, now we gave our opponent time. Mamba's going to start walling up. We're getting skirms out. I actually think... Well, I guess it's fine. I mean, yeah, that's fine. Skirms is an answer, but your opponent actually has so little army. I think you can just go Arbalester yourself here. But again, it's against Vietnamese, so I don't mind if you just go skirm here. I would like to see us producing some military, though, before building the 5th range. We haven't even started producing anything. We're getting crossbow now, which is good. I think it's the fact that we're so low on gold, actually. Yeah, we don't have anyone on gold anymore. This is about to run out. And now... Yeah, we don't have any... Oh, it's the 3rd dock again. Okay. That's what it was. We have to have 3 docks at all times. Oh! Wow, but Cabbage is going to come through here. Okay, I really like that, but also Mamba is smart enough to have dropped the stone walls, but let's just knock these down right now. There's no masonry in, I don't think, right? Yeah, no masonry in. So... We have, like, no army. Yeah, this is good. I like this. but we should have army in time. We're getting fortified wall, but I think it's too late. I also don't know if this is actually open. It looks like there's a tree right here. You can't cut trees that have been started to chop by vills with trebs. You have to cut uncut trees. So it's kind of hard to tell. Maybe there is a path, like here. Oh yeah, there is. Okay, this is do or die for Mamba. Like these 3 trebs, they just need 2 volleys, I think. We actually need to come with our vills, I think. Yeah, fortified wall is in, but the military's through. Click the TC. Oh, okay, the vills are coming forward. Is this fast enough? I don't know. This is kind of it. Vills even forward to repair. Oh, this is gonna go down super fast. Can we repair? I think we need, yeah, we need even more repairs. But a treb's gonna go down. It's only gonna be just 2 trebs now. Oh, but it's just enough. Wow. That's crazy. Damn. That's amazing. It's like that was like so close too. Like imagine if fortified wall was in already. I actually think that would have bought enough time. I also think, I mean, yeah, it's hard to say, but Mamba kind of needed to like send the vills earlier to start hitting these right away. And then maybe actually I know the crossbow were forward, but it's possible we could have blocked this back again. But hey, kudos to both players. Honestly, the fact that Mamba even walled this in the first place, super good. It bought us a lot of time. I think the biggest thing that killed it for Mamba was probably the 3 docks. but then also we're kind of like, we had a castle here and here, and we weren't committing to Petards and Rams or Imp. We needed to commit to 1. And then, so yeah, Cabbage had a much nicer Imp time with the free conscription. It was super nice. I really appreciated that Cabbage went through here instead of here, because you know, you're like, well, why would anyone go this way? Well, I think we see why. This is also downhill, so that's an extra big damage. So yeah, game number 1 goes to Cabbage. Yeah, more ranges. You had a problem of like, you had 5 ranges, but you weren't even producing out of the first few. I think because you had like no gold. Which is fair enough. You might want to just make skirms if you don't have any gold, just to like have some kind of military. I know they wouldn't kill the Strebs super fast, but they would at least clear the Expo. I mean, who knows? That's like another reason why I think it would have been nice to go light cav instead, because like it's sort of hard to read, but the way the game was, you're like, okay, well, they've cleared my castles, right? They have 3 trebs. I'm getting up to Imp, but I'm not there yet. I want something that can answer the archers and the trebs. So I think cavalry is kind of your best bet. But hey, it still could have gone either way. Let's not dwell on it too much, and we'll get into game number 2 here. Game number 2. So hard to watch. Hey, it's okay. Listen, I've had worse games, and I've had way worse games than that. There was a grand final I played, best of 7. I lost the first 2 games. On the 3rd game, I was playing Vikings. I was Vikings versus like Armenians or something on a water map, and I deleted my dock on accident when I was trying to delete a palisade or something. And I also didn't have any berries, and I forgot to read. Anyway, it can always be worse. Don't worry. That's why we learn. Anyway, we're on to Hamburger, OrangeMamba's home map here. OrangeMamba in the red with Dravidians on the other side, PickledCabbage with the Italians in the teal. And this is Hamburger. This is a famous map lag. Yeah, that's actually part of the map. That's part of the experience. But as you can see, the main defining feature is this crappy wood line here. This is like, obviously it's not all of the wood. We have all the wood on the outside. But most of your wood is right here. And that's a big deal. Why is it a big deal? Because like you put a tower here, here, and like here, and it covers the entire wood line. You also have the sides over here and here. You can just drop a single palisade wall like Cabbage is doing right now. And that prevents your opponent from going forward without excluding like a transport ship, for example. And there are a couple of different ways you could look at it, right? You could say, okay, I want to delay this because it's sort of res and building time, which is really precious on especially on a hybrid build. Or if I want to be super safe, I could build it early. I think it looks like both players are going to just wall it off early enough. We don't have to worry about any forwards. I think there's pluses and minuses to both. If you don't wall it early, you have to scout really thoroughly and be really cautious about a sneak, because a sneak can be truly disastrous. Like if you're just worrying about building navy in a tower, but then like suddenly there's 3 men at arms in a forward range, it's like it's horrific. It's really bad. So you have to be really careful. This map also gets really chaotic. So, you know, anything that makes your life easier to deal with, you know, I think is a good idea. But yeah, we have Dravinians versus Italians. Both good at water. The Italians here, they have a few bonuses that benefit them. Their age up is faster, or sorry, cheaper, my bad. Which is very good because water is very snowbally, right? And so the sooner you are to either producing navy or producing better navy can be quite good. And their dock techs are discounted. Dock and university techs, oh no. That's a classic. Classic, the board does not want to be lured. And now we got it the second time. And also their docks, or sorry, I'm misspeaking a lot. Their fishing ships are cheaper, which is quite nice to have any kind of wood savings, especially on a map like this where the wood is very hotly contested. The winter variant? Yeah, I think this is the standard variant of hamburger, which most of the standard variants these days have like seasonal varieties. Although it's kind of funny because we're using the autumn in the middle here. I guess maybe the hamburger, you know, it's lukewarm. It's been in the microwave recently, and this is like but we only microwave the middle. Like, you know, the outside is still being de-thawed a little bit. That's why it's still icy. But yeah, on the other side we have Dravidians. Dravidians are very good water sieve. Their docks give them housing space. So if you imagine every time you build a dock, you're also like saving 25 wood because you get the pop space of a house as well. That's a team bonus. Of course, there's only a team of 1 here, but in a team game, that would be extra good. Also, we have a Vil that's looks to be shirking duties here. Oh, okay, I don't... there was one didn't seem to want to do any work, and then the other one came in and put them into action. That's good. You're not allowed to laze around. But along with that bonus to Dravidians, they get an extra 200 wood on age up, which is super good on water maps, of course, because your wood eco is super hotly contested. You need lots of wood to make everything work. And it's also good because what can happen is your wood line gets denied and you're in trouble. But you have some extra wood to work with, so that's nice. So Mom's going to be up shortly. Looks like, I don't know if cabbage just hasn't dropped off yet. Oh, we didn't pull in the second boar. I think that's why we're missing the food for going up. I hope we don't try an FC here again. This cabbage, I know it's cheaper for the Italians, but it's like, it's really dangerous on this map. I guess we'll see. Maybe it plays off, or it works out. If we're going to go FC, though, I'd like to see 4 or 5 fish, especially as the Italians. We'll see. Yeah, okay, now this is good. Outpost, so you can see where your opponent's woodline is, and then you can tower it. Yeah, there's the outpost over there. Maybe it would have been better to put it here. But actually, with Town Watch, it might just give you enough vision anyway. So that's fine. Fishing ship coming in. We would have liked to have a second dock, I think. Like either, if you're going galleys, probably over here. If you're going fires, probably forward here or something. But we can get it up at least when we want to go for... when we get our wood bonus on aging up. Yeah, the outpost sees this. Okay, yeah. So we're going to drop a tower right away, which is super good. And because cabbage aged up so late, we can't do anything about this. The only thing we can do about this is we can't even see it because we're in Dark Age. The only thing we can do about this is just build another lumber camp. And then when you build your second lumber camp, you have to build a tower as well. Otherwise, this is going to happen again. Because Mamba is on stone already. Little BitX coming in. So we're on 2 docks. Mamba's only... Okay, we're going to be on 2 as well for Mamba. We don't have anything on stone. Or sorry, gold. Okay, we're going into gold now. Yeah, see, look how, this is terrible when you have a water build. But I think the second tower is going to come up right away, right? Getting town watch. You could wait for this lumber camp to be built first. That's going to hurt even more. And then you drop the tower. Like, yeah, so we do drop the tower. So this is why this map is really brutal. Especially, yeah, this gen is like exceptionally strange. Usually have more wood. But it's a classic standard map. But yeah, this is why when this happens, you need to build a defensive tower here to prevent this from happening. So yeah, we're gonna drop a tower now, which is still good. It'll still deny the wood for our opponent, but the thing is, Mamba can go over here now, and it's not really that big of a deal. Fire is forward, isn't hitting anything. The fish actually were pulled back, which is nice. 2 docks, not quite producing. Yeah, our wood eco is kind of strained now. Yeah, now we have to transition over here, but it's still okay because we're not taking any wood for cabbage. And Mamba's about to start taking some wood, so still better for us. We could deal with this tower war, but we could also just ignore it, to be honest. I think it's kind of better to just focus on the water here, but you're gonna have to pick your battles on a map like this when things get so chaotic. You can't really control everything at once. And something interesting here, we don't have a mill. Our opponent, it doesn't have a mill either, actually. We don't have a market. Ooh, yeah, this is so this is super awkward. So this is the thing about this map as well. We have a lot on stone, a lot on gold, no one on wood at all, and we don't have a mill, and we can't drop a market, so we can't actually get any more wood. Mamba has plenty of wood control, that's not an issue. But there's no navy. Oh, sorry. There's another fire coming out, but you know, cabbage is really straining for wood. We can't even take this because of this tower. We're gonna desperately try and just pick up some logs. You know, there's the emergency village just gonna go and chop some trees, and we're just being pelted by arrows in the meantime. Dravidian's going forward. Yeah, we're gonna try and repair this, but again, we don't have any wood to repair this with. But I mean, it'll hold off, but like, we're not getting any wood. We're gonna drop a tower here, but like, we can't secure any wood with it, is the thing. And this is kind of where you get to a situation on this map where you don't have access to wood. You can't build a transport to get away to get safe wood. You don't have a mill even. You don't have a market. So you're kind of just stuck. You're kind of just stuck. Yeah, we're also running out of food as well. Luckily, these fishing ships have been kept alive this whole time, which is a really big boon for us. But, I mean, eventually, Mamba should just win this because we have wood and our opponent does not. I'd like this navy to just go forward right now. Our opponent has no wood, so they can't make any more navy. This is the only thing they have for wood. But yeah, if we drop a tower here. Yep, we drop a tower here, then they have, like, actually no wood. I mean, this, even if this tower goes down, right? It's not a huge deal for us. Might have to garrison this, though. Because, yeah, Cabbage is doing a good job of repairing. We got no mill either from Mamba, so we can't do anything with this gold. It's super rough on this map, though, securing your, or balancing what to do with all your wood. Yeah, I don't know what I feel about this map, to be honest. Like, it's kind of fun, but it's also, it's sort of one-dimensional. It's very snowbally. It sort of makes me think of, like, Shorefish maps. Shorefish maps can be fun, because you're able to get man-at-arms out, and it's, like, very aggressive opening. But it's also extremely snowbally, and it's, like, almost impossible to come back from, because what happens on a Shorefish map, for example, your opponent's on Shorefish, and they win the first fight, then they just keep spamming man-at-arms, you just kind of lose on the spot. And on this map, it's kind of similar here, where you lose the wood access, And it's totally over, right? Because you can't make Navy anymore. You can't even get access to the only other res. And then, like, even if long term, let's say, you can't really do that in this case, right? But let's say long term in a normal game, you transfer over here, you get a town center, but then your opponent has the fish, they go Imperial Age, they can shell everything, and then, you know, it kind of snowballs really quickly. So it's a map that's, like, kind of fun to play sometimes, but I wouldn't really like it repeatedly. Like, I feel like there's only so much you can do. Now, that being said, it looks like Cabbage is committing a lot here to the towers, and that has paid off. Now, the thing is that, look how much more res that Mamba has. It's about a 1,500 difference. So, all we need to do, not panic. We haven't had a market this whole time, but we can drop a market. We can get up to Castle Age. Our opponent is going to be so late to Castle Age, right? I mean, the fact that these fishing ships have worked is super good for them, right? But we're going to lose these docks. Mamba's, you've been on the wood for so long. You can go to the wood if you want. Yep, here we go. Maybe a few too many villas, but that's okay. I think we need to get a market and go up to Castle Age right away. The Talons at least have a cheaper age up, so that is going for them, but no mill, right? No market. Market's really what we need. We were super late on it for the last game, too. You'll find that on these more chaotic maps, and also especially on Sudden Death, having a market is actually super important. For the timings, for balancing your res, right? Like in this case, you know, I know it looks rough now for Mamba, but yeah, if we get the market, we get up to Castle Age, we can drop a castle on this wood line, and then we have the water, we have the wood line again. And also we have this safe wood too, so which is really nice for us. I know you're thinking like, we need to save wood, but I don't think you want a horse collar right now. You have the fish. You have the fish, and you want to go up. You want to click up. Look how much gold you have. You need to buy Castle Age. Cabbage is on a market too. That's an interesting question. If you started with a transport, if you start with a transport, I mean, I think it would be a different map, but it could be interesting, right? Like something of this style where you start on an island, but you have a transport, so at least you have an out, and it gives you like a slightly different opening, right? Ooh, it was a nice demo hit. Actually, oh, okay. Actually, we'll take the water back here for Cabbage. But again, if we just click up to Castle Age, we get the Castle Age tech, we're still gonna be fine. But if you imagine if like either player started with a transport, we could try dropping a lumber camp. Like, so you could have a safe lumber camp, but it's still, you know, long term that could be an issue, and you kind of give up middle control. That could be interesting. The map still would need some balancing with the way it generates, but that could be like an interesting, different version of Hamburger. And you can see Mamba kind of gave up the lead there a little bit. We could have used our market to get up way faster, but now we're only going to be, actually we're going to be later than our opponent. And I mean, it's hard to say where exactly that went wrong, because I think there's a lot of things that happen on this map. But the biggest thing was probably, I mean, I don't mind, the towers were good, and we did have the navy. It was probably just the fact that we were late to our mill, because we were spending wood elsewhere, which is, you know, reasonable. And we were late to the mill, we were late to the market, and then we couldn't spend our gold, which we were floating like 1,000 of. But yeah, both players are going to preserve their navy because they want to upgrade them. It's quite reasonable. I would still prefer Dravidians here because, yeah, we're going to have 4 docks, so we're going to get some more wood. And we're only at 2 docks for Cabbage. So this is a case where I would like to make sure that Mamba does triple, quadruple down the water. It's super important on this map. Especially in Sudden Death. You want to get up to Imperial Age. And I don't know if a cannon galleon can probably reach this. At least with Elite. I like that outpost here. Yeah, Mamba's going to build up to a castle. I think a castle in here in the center would be nice. You could also try, like, castling the shoreline. I don't know if I'm as worried about that because your navy should take care of that right now. Your first castle should probably be here. Or you could try to transport and get a castle here. It's a little safer to drop it defensively. Yeah, okay, I like that castle. Okay, I also want to see War Galley. Yeah, War Galley. Okay. So this should be OrangeMamba's game, but there's still potential. Okay, castle here. Secure some docks. Prevent a landing. But it doesn't place a threat on our opponent. We're going to take the fight, which... Also, no reason to take careening here, because it gives you pierce armor, and we're not facing any arrows for our navy. Our opponent gets careening too. Okay, interesting. I mean, it's still good to have for long term, so not a huge deal. Buzzsaw coming in too. No buzzsaw for the Italian player. There's quite a lot of fires. So yeah, now Mamba should just win the water here. Still some demos. Could be a big deal. You're starting to get to the part of the game where you might want to transition into galleys. You could wait on that still until like Imp. But galleys, you know, for dealing with demos, they do a little bit more towards land army as well. Yeah, castle's up. We're still taking some wood here. So Mamba could invest in a siege workshop. Or, I mean, I wouldn't really say you need a second castle. You could probably just drop a tower just out of the tower range. Yeah, water will be taken back. You do have to be careful about the demos, though. I think we'll kill all of this navy before they're able to kick in, but... yeah, we should clear things up. So I think... Okay, yeah. I mean, I like the navy commitment, but I think we want to go into galleys now. We also might want to just click up to Imp. You see how this is like... This is how big a deal the fish is, right? Also the fact that we were sort of faster the tower fight, so we just had more vills working. And also we had these saved vills, which is really nice. So about 3,000 res ahead. Or, actually, no, that's more like 4,000-ish. Yeah, I think, you know, if this, like, map started with the transport, it would be a different sort of map. But it could be interesting. I think it's fine to have this map in the pool. You're not going to see it that often. I think it plays a little bit different in Sudden Death. Okay. We're going to drop this castle, which is a little... I don't know if it needs to be this forward, to be honest, because the towers can range. But it should still go up. And I hope we cut production and go up to Imp. You see, like, Cabbage is just not... is, like, never getting up to Imp. Although these fishing ships still being alive is super nice. I think the transport ship, let's see, so 1.45 versus 1.35, yeah. So transport ship is slightly faster than both a fire ship and a galley. Okay, the fire's out. This is the benefit, though, of having a coastal castle, or a castle that covers the coast here, is that we can get these docks up and we can't do anything about it. Yeah, okay, Imp. All right, Imp is in for Mamba. That should seal Cabbage's fate here. Right, we can get to cannon galleons, we can get to trebs, and that's where, I mean, even if actually you were playing this in standard, this is kind of what you would want to do anyway. Even if you could build more TCs, it's kind of more valuable to go up to Imp and just kill everything that your opponent has. So what Mamba needs to do to secure this is make sure we scout the edges here, plant some navy on the sides. We don't know if they've transported or not. Transport's coming in. And I think that will probably, yeah, that will get Cabbage out. But I think without a, like, castle landing here right on the opponent's TC, I don't think there's any way we win this game at this point. Like, this is good to secure the res, but I think it's too slow. I mean, look how much res Mamba has in the bank. Would really like to see some galleys just to keep control on the navy. You could also try landing, you know, here. Cabbage does have it scouted, but, you know, because you have the naval control, you can't really be stopped. It's a massive evacuation happening for Cabbage. There's a kind of an interesting suburb being developed here by the water. Just like all the dock hands, you know, the sailors. They like to travel through their neighbors' houses, and, you know, before they get to work, they visit all their neighbors and they greet them. It can get a little boring, you know, a little grating if you don't like your neighbors that much, but it's just kind of how they built the infrastructure. Yeah, Imp is in for Mamba. It's coming in for Cabbage, but it's super late. I'm actually kind of amazed that Cabbage even got up to Imperial Age. I don't know how that happened. The res did not look like it was there. Dropping a castle here, which to me seems a little odd. I guess you like want to cover this area, but I think you might want to cover this instead. But I think that's also fine. Trebuchet's coming out. I think you probably want to get conscription too, to just get everything out faster. But yeah, I like that we're covering all of this. We might also consider just outposting the edge, just to make sure there really is nothing going on. And I think Cabbage's one saving grace is still like a YOLO castle over here. Ah, conscription. Very good. I also still think we want to go into Galleon, or even Thrisidai. I still think you want like a ranged naval unit, just to secure the shoreline a little bit better. Ah, okay, good, yes. I like this. We don't really need to wall this. We could have had Navy here, but this is also fine. Cabbage can't stop that anyway. We don't have any army to stop Mamba's castle. We have some Gembos, actually. Well, actually, the Gembos could be over here. But another thing the Gembos could have done earlier is somehow if we transport over here and, like, harass some vills. But now the castle here stops that. Anyway, Cannon Galleon's coming in. Is there any way Cabbage can bring this back? This is kind of the one thing about sudden death. You have to be careful. When you're super far ahead, it's easy to get complacent and forget about the enemy's win condition, which is somehow killing your TC, which could still happen. But I think the odds are pretty low at this point. Still like to see some outposts on the side. But eventually, yeah, these cannons should come over here. We're even getting shipwright. We're going to deal with this. I would like to see Bodkin and Bracer come in as well. Also, killing the market is super big on this map. And very soon, Cabbage is going to have no map left at all. We're even... we didn't need to do this, but... I mean, it's good to be safe. The university coming in for chemistry, which is cheaper for the Italians, but... a little bit too late. We also don't have fast fire either. Okay, good, yeah. We're taking into Galleon. We're still missing, like, ballistics and, you know, we have chemistry. We're missing all of the attack upgrades. Yeah, we can transfer these trebs. We can just kill this. I don't think there's any way for PickledCabbage to stop this. At some point, we would just need to go for stone and just try a landing. It's like your one chance. I don't think there's any way that this... you can actually contest at the Navy at this point. You just don't have enough res. Actually, Gembos are surprisingly annoying to deal with Navy if you don't have galleons. But not quite enough. Eventually, Mamba will remember that we have these trebs. Fast fire coming in. Yep, we're gonna kill this castle. Yeah, we might lose some fires. Totally fine, honestly. Their opponent has one dock. Another thing that Cabbage could have tried is, like, I don't know. You walk around the side here, dock here. Or maybe, like, send some scouts or something. But easier said than done. This is a this is a feudal age watchtower. Actually, feudal age with chemistry, actually. Yep. The town center is going to go down here. GG is called. And now the set is tied. OrangeMamba wins. Oops. Wins on his home map. So yeah, very nicely played. I think, you know, between Italians and Dravidians, I think either could be pretty good on this map. I would still say Dravidians are favored. And you can see how, like, Mamba's plan worked out, right? We got the Navy. We got up to feudal faster. We dropped a tower. We denied the wood. Things did get a little bit hairy with the tower rush, and we were late to Castle Age, or late relative to how we could be. But in the end, we just had too much res. We had the water control, and Cabbage just could not take back from there. You can see how important the water control is. I still think Cabbage could have had an opportunity at some point to try and YOLO something, but you know, that things tend to snowball on this map pretty quickly. So let me go back here and pull out game number 3. I didn't put game number 3 in my folder, so I wouldn't be spoiled on if it was a real game or not. So now I need to just pull this off real quick. Actually, you know what I can do? Hold on. I'll bring us back to the drafts in just a moment here. Once I get game number 3 in. Game 3. Okay. We'll take a quick look at the drafts. Not the giraffes, by the way. Quick look at the drafts here. So we have... It was Brood War. We played that already. And then Hamburgers won by Mamba. We had Dravidians won. They beat out the Italians. And we had the Saracens. They lost to the Vietnamese. So we have last in our pool here. We have Aredo Aya. Oh, I wish I had a way to like write on this. You just have to imagine in your mind if I had marked those civs and maps. But yeah, so we're gonna be left with Aredo Aya. If you haven't seen it before, it is a closed map, but it's not really like it doesn't really lend itself to booming and castle age because you're actually just enclosed in palisade walls, so they're very vulnerable to a man-at-arms rush, which I think is probably the best opening on that map. Like man-at-arms into skirms or archery range, depending on what you have. There's actually a map you could definitely try, the Cuman Rams. I think it's it's a possibility in sudden death, right? It's an option to kill your opponent's town center faster than any other option. And we have Khmer and Wei left versus Chinese or Poles. So what would I think? Khmer versus Wei. I mean, if Cabbage really likes sticking to the FC, we could see... Well, we could actually see either. We could see a Khmer into, like, Fast Castle into Scorpions. Or we could see Wei Fast Castle into, I don't know, something... Just He Guang, which is their knight alternative. I'm not sure. Neither of those speak to me as being, like, amazing picks on Aredo Aya, but Khmer can still be decent. You don't usually man-at-arms rush with them, but you could just go for, like, a straight archer rush. If you imagine, like, if you're thinking your opponent wants to go for man-at-arms, you could just go for archers. Could be reasonable. On the other side, Poles or Chinese, there's no stone on the map. So I don't expect Poles. It's just like, that's like one eco bonus you're just not going to get. So maybe it will be Chinese into, I don't know, Chinese into archers. Chinese into, well, Chinese can do kind of anything. Other than man-at-arms, they're usually too slow because of their start. But could be an option. I really don't see Poles. I mean, if it's Poles, well, I don't know. I guess we'll see. If it's Poles, we'll see what happens. I'm predicting probably Chinese versus Khmer, but maybe I'll be completely wrong. Go ahead and pull the game here, and I think I am going to be completely wrong here. Because it looks like it is, in fact, Wei versus Poles. So we'll see what Mamba's been cooking. I'm not immediately sure, but hey, you could still make it work. Even without stone. They do have other bonuses, of course. Their farming bonus is probably their most well-known one. The tricky thing about trying to farm here is, well, you'll see in a moment, you don't really have a lot of space to work with. And you have a lot of neutral mills. Bro, here we are. Game number 3, the deciding game of the set. We have OrangeMamba picking the Poles. The civ I expected to not see. Versus Wei in the teal. The other civ I did not expect to see, although I'm less surprised by it. So here on Aredo Aya, we have, as you can see, palisade walls. It's very vulnerable, right? You're closed in, but it's not really that safe. And the spawns can vary. This one's a pretty close spawn. It's not always this close. Something you always have to be wary as well, and here's laming. Your boars start on the outside, so you have to be very cautious about them being stolen. Like this one's vulnerable, but this one's pretty safe. This one's pretty safe. Another reason why it can be quite good to play one of the eagle civs on this map, because then it's easier for you to contest the lame, because your eagle beats the opponent's scout in Dark Age. Yeah, Pickle's gonna take the boar nice and early. If you like to see, you prevent any laming. I also say this because that happened to me in my game. I was thinking about it, but I was just too slow to the draw. Yeah, on the other side, we haven't picked up our boars yet, but we can see it in vision. Another thing you will note on this map is we have neutral mills. So, I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure these are reversible. Like to say you could capture it and then your opponent captures it. But it's like a lot of free food. Well, not free with quotes, because it's sort of vulnerable. Cabbage is asking if the boars are far away. I mean, yeah, it's pretty much the same. I guess this one's technically a little further away. But also I think Mamba's just kind of focusing. But yeah, I mean, that's actually pretty standard on this map. Yeah, just outside walls. This one's kind of, it's sort of an unfortunate spawn. Because it sort of spawned here by the corner. So it ended up being kind of further away from the TC. But this is not that much further away from Mamba either. Personally, I don't really like that on the map. I would really prefer if they are inside. But I'm also not that big a fan of laming either. I mean, I know it's like a strategy. I don't mean like it's like the worst thing ever, but I'm not a huge fan when map gens can be quite sensitive to the possibility of laming. I think it's just kind of a bad design. We're going to see a nice wall up here for Cabbage. I think I would have preferred it just at the edge here of the gold to the wall. Just give you a little bit more space. It's going to be really awkward to take this gold, but that's fine. Mamba also has, yeah, can wall towards the edge here. Also has kind of an exposed gold. Both of them don't really have a safe gold, other than, well, even this is like, yeah, both of their golds is pretty far forward. That's actually pretty common on this map. It's pretty difficult to secure res. Another reason why it's important to go for a feudal age, because you kind of want to get army out and secure map space. It's super dangerous to just go for fast castle. I haven't really seen it work at all. My intuition is too high elo. Intuition for which part? For the laming? I mean, if your opponent doesn't lame, then it's nothing to worry about. Yeah, I like her walling here, including the starting walls. Yeah, Cabbage has completed the walls here too. So it's a bit of a question on this map if you want to go out and secure the farms or not. I mean, like, do you want to send vills early? I think it's a bit debatable. And I think for either player, you might consider sending some vills like here or here. Here or here, like early on, maybe as like right when you click up or something, just to gather some food, avoid spending wood, or like avoid building farms a little later, and then make some army. The sheep are really far away. I hope that Mamba remembers this and doesn't have the vills run all the way to fetch these. Okay, actually going for barracks here. I think I'd prefer it outside just to save yourself some more space. I also think it might be laming the full work, but I'm not 100% certain. I think we are laming the full workspace, but it also may have not been possible anyway with the configuration of the map. That's kind of another reason why I'm not sure about the poles pick, if it makes a lot of sense here, but we'll see. Maybe it'll pay off. You know, nobody expects the mana arms opening from the poles. For the civ picking? Yeah, but why would you pick poles? Why would you pick poles on a map without stone? Doesn't Chinese make more sense relative? I mean, you're just like, there's like no possibility to use that bonus. I mean, hey, you still might make them work. Having the regenerating vills is still nice. Farming is still good if you can get to it. Instead, we're going to drop a tower. This is actually still decent. We didn't scout that our opponent was on this gold. So it would have been nicer to break into this. We're going to use up our only stone. We can't build a TC, so it's not a huge deal. But maybe we would have liked to sell it. Oh, that's unfortunate. We had the faster uptime, but our scout wasn't quite able to be there. So yeah, we're going to drop a tower here, but I kind of would like to see... Okay, yeah, we're going to see scouts. I think scouts, I don't mind if we're going to go for, like, scouts into archers. Sag is dropped from OrangeMamba, I think, because we lost the scout. So this tower is actually kind of paying for itself, though, because it forces a tower here. I don't think Cabbage needs to really worry about this. I mean, I know it's, like, kind of awkward. It can help break in, but it doesn't really cover that much. Like, we're taking gold here anyway. It could be an issue long-term, breaking into this, but we could wall behind. But also, I mean, our opponent spent the stone, we spent the stone, so it's kind of even for us. And do we have... So we haven't picked up any ecotechs yet for Cabbage, but when those come in, we will get an extra Vil. I mean, that is true. Poles can be good for, like, an extended feudal. But I think they would struggle against a Mana Arms opening. Like, if your opponent went Mana Arms into Spears, it could be an issue. In this case, Cabbage is... Cabbage really likes going to Castle Age. So maybe in this case, if you're, like... thinking about how your opponent plays, it makes a lot of sense. I also think this tower is unfortunately hitting the stone wall. Super awkward. It's really annoying as well when you're using like a tower like this to... It's like super awkward to click, and also this tower, the top of it looks like the stone walls as well. Horse collar before double bit axe is an unfortunate state. Okay, but we are going to go to the farms. It's a little late for that, but I mean, I don't mind it because we're still doing it. I also think these Vils are, it's kind of wasted working time, so the tower kind of paid for itself. Okay, here's where the scouts do come in though. Although they can't really deal with the walls, they can secure the outside for us. And we could try farming here. Blacksmith's being dropped. This is also the thing about... I mean, so okay, it's gonna make sense if you're just community feudal. Then you can make lots of military, you can secure space for yourself, and you can use the full work bonus. And actually, we could just be going forward right now and killing Vils. But, I mean, look how hemmed in we are. I would have preferred the production outside. Actually, okay. You know what? This barracks was fine because we did fit a farm here. I wasn't sure. But this stable clearly should have been out here, right? I also think if we're gonna go for feudal age, we should really be attacking like already. We should already be hitting walls, especially since we haven't seen any military from our opponent at all. It's kind of a really unfortunate. I think we didn't scout that there was farms here, so fair enough. Yeah, we're being a little bit too hesitant. If we're gonna commit to a feudal age, we really need to start hitting right away. But we have forging in. We have no military for Cabbage. But yeah, we're gonna wall up here for Cabbage, and we can still go on the other side. So that is something nice about the scouts on this map. Is it's quick for them to get to the other side. It's not like a super big map, but like once you start playing around in this area, it can be nice. Castle Age is coming in for Teal. Scouts are through. They have forging, so they are quite dangerous. But this is quite nicely walled. I think we're just going to get some Hay Guang out. Still missing double bit X though. It's very unfortunate, especially for the way. And yeah, Mamba kind of missed the window there. The Vils are going to come back, so that's some nice food Cabbage got for free. Actually going to get the infantry armor. This is quite a bit of pressure. We actually could have denied the stable maybe if we were here earlier. We're gonna get bloodlines, alright. How's the farming looking? We're gonna drop one here. Okay, that's nice. I know it's like your poles want to use your farming bonus, but you probably want to take this free food as well if you're gonna go for this much aggression. We also need to get into archers, I think, to deal with the spears. Yeah, this is kind of an awkward fight. We're gonna clear the spears, but we lost a lot of scouts. If you're going to commit to a feudal age, you really have to go to archers as well to protect your scouts. And yeah, we're going to lose all of our scouts here. I'm adding more, but again, if we had archers behind this would be a lot more threatening. That being said, Cabbage is still sort of hemmed in here. I think we're going to see He Guang, though. I think with enough scouts that you could still deal with it. We don't have armor, which is fine. Forging and Bloodlines is very good. Okay, yep. First armor's coming in for the Cav. Again, no military for Cabbage. And the eco is actually better for the Poles here because of their food bonus. And the eco count's kind of even because we killed a couple of Vills. So that basically neutralized. Well, we didn't even get double bit X still. I think this is an unfortunate situation where we're not going to get double bit X because we forgot to get it early. So it's just never going to happen. But yeah, this is a situation where I think I would like to see Mamba just click up before we make more scouts. I think we were late to the market again. Yeah, I get the feeling of like, you don't want to waste your early army, right? Especially if you're going to commit to lots of it. But, you know, but actually what you want to do is just use it right away. And then you can always make more if you lose it. Of course, you never know, right? I mean, you didn't... It's not always there's going to be vills that are out here. But on this map especially, you want to make sure your opponent is stuck here. But yeah, He Guang are out. I think... I actually don't know really how these compete against Light Cav. I mean, you'd expect, like, Knights, they do pretty well. But with a nice eco, the Poles should be able to outproduce these. We should be fine. We can also go into Knights ourselves, right? Okay, we're gonna go for this Palisade. Hopefully we pull back. We are faster. These are Light Cav versus Heavy Cav. Yeah, we don't want to take this fight until we get to Light Cav, I think. So we'll just keep running around. And then we can go into Monks as well. I don't know how the way Monks are. They're pretty bad. I think we... Yeah, actually, we're missing Atonement, which is kind of funny, but... Monks will still be good if it's a Knight versus He Guang situation. We don't have... we do have Pikes, which we could go into. But we probably want to confirm... We just, you know, keep making Cav as the Poles. That's generally what we want to do. Big thing here, I see, like, we could keep making a couple more scouts. Here, I mean, I know, you know, we want to get into Knights probably better, but, you know, we could still make more military since we're floating all this res. But this is, I mean, this is fine. If we just start producing a bunch of Knights right out of the gate, still good for us. Yep, Light Cav comes in. Bloodline's now in for, or not in yet, but being researched. Yeah, I want to see these three stables producing all the time. Get the second armor, that's good. Get a monastery, that's good. He Guang coming around the side, but we're walled. Another sort of awkward thing is it's really hard to get to our unique tech since there's no stone. And those are super nice as the Poles, right? Because it discounts our Knights' gold cost. So that's sort of awkward, but yeah, I mean, if we have our eco going, we can probably do without it. He Guang are in, but I think this is still okay. We should clear this up. Getting handcart, getting blast furnace. Oh, sorry, this is cast iron. Iron casting, rather. Yeah, we should clear this up. We have way more military than our opponent. And back here, Cabbage is still no double bit axe. Go into this goal now. Probably need to continue the walls here. And this is kind of a sort of unfortunate as the way player that you don't have any. You don't have, like, you're missing a lot of eco upgrades, and your opponent has better eco upgrades than you. Yeah, I like this aggression. We can start making some monks as well. Getting all of our upgrades for our knights, which is good. You could consider a siege workshop. Okay, I don't like the second monastery if we're not even producing out of the first one. Okay, we are producing, but I don't think we have enough gold to produce out of this and our stables, so I think this is probably a mistake unless we transfer some more to gold. Although, to be fair, I mean, it is nice to be able to produce monks over here instead of here, since they're quite slow. But as I was saying, you could consider a siege workshop just to build a ram, but I also wouldn't mind if you just skip it for right now, since we're up against Cav, so, you know, siege doesn't do so great. Yeah, let's send our military forward. We have all the upgrades. We want to fight this for sure. Only the first attack and first armor for our opponent. Monastery's coming in. Double stable for PickledCabbage. But our food eco is not nearly as good because we're not the poles. Also, we're missing wheelbarrow and handcart. OrangeMamba is going around here just to check what's going on. Picking up the relics. Okay, good. Actually, we didn't have a market this whole time. Oh, fair enough. Also, see, look how we're kind of floating a lot of res and we're not producing out of it. Out of our stables, rather. But this is really good to push the vills back. This is where, like, heavy military is super big on this map. Because you just get kicked around so much. And it's really hard to defend, especially when you can't add TCs. That monk actually gets killed, which is good, but I think now we're going to get overwhelmed. Sanctity coming in, actually. So yeah, get some monks here. You might also consider just committing to pikes as well. I mean, that depends. I don't mind just, like, making more knights, though. Making more knights, getting some monks out. Monks will make a big difference. And we have better upgrades. And although it looks like there's a much less health, the armor is better for the Haguang. Alright, they have 5 armor versus 4. But we have better upgrades on the pole knights here, so we should still be able to take more fights. And we have a better eco. Actually, oh, we have, oh yeah, all of our vills are idle, okay. Some monks coming out for cabbage, but this should be a pretty strong position for Mamba here. Another awkward thing on this map is it's really hard to make something happen when you're behind, right? Like in sudden death, right? Your win condition when you're behind is you somehow kill the TC with like YOLO petards or like a bunch of rams or something. There's no stone, so the castle's kind of hard to make happen. And also, it's just so close and there's like no way to really sneak around. It's kind of impossible. Another reason I don't really like this map that much on some death settings, but it's nice to have variety. We have a lot of knights here, doing a lot of damage. I just want to see more and more knights here. Haguang do perform quite well, though. But our eco is always going to be worse here is the way without any eco upgrades to get extra vills. And I think these vills have seen how scary it is in the outside world and do not want to fight. Some light cab can be mixed in for the monks. I'm not even sure for the way what we really go into here. I mean, we do have Halb long term, so maybe it's the way we actually have to go into pikes here. I mean, we are like a cab civ, and that's kind of our main thing. Some conversions should go off here. It's kind of an awkward fight to take because a lot of our knights are boxed in. But I think just by sheer numbers, we should have this. Although it's still... yeah, I mean, it's kind of awkward, right? So the market should go down. We should be able to flood knights through. Yeah, we might actually be able to just take the TC here. We have the second armor, we have the second attack. And Bodkin's coming in just now. I mean, this is a little wasteful, but they might kill the TC though. I mean, they're doing a lot of damage. But I want to see more knights being produced. Okay, good, yeah. We are producing some more knights. I mean, yeah, this is like... it kind of reminds me of the last game where Cabbage can do a lot of things to not die here, but I don't see... oh, okay, that's really nice. I like that to box in the knights there. Yeah, we can clear this up, but it's just like, I don't see how Cabbage gets back in the game is the problem. Like, even after losing all of that, we also lost a lot of working time for our vills, and again, Mamba in the meanwhile is up to 63 vills. Maybe you could go up to Imp. I don't think you need to, though. I think you just get a Siege Workshop, get a Ram out, kill the stables, kill the TC here. Oh yeah, just keep floating knights. Maybe we did have to go for pikes. I don't know. Cabbage could have tried to go for into Knight Pike. Because our opponent didn't have the Siege Workshop earlier. I'm not sure. Like Knight Pike with some Haegwang. I'm not really sure for the way. It's also just kind of most civs in general that don't have camels can be really hard to deal with the poles, right? When we're not really able to hit their eco. It's possible we could send some Haegwang over here to do some raiding, which could be good. But we're down to no army. One Haegwang, about to be like just 3 monks. And yeah, now the siege workshops are going to come up here. And I'm just not sure what Cabbage could do to come back in the game, right? Like, this is actually, this sort of happened, it wasn't quite like this, but I had a game like this where I sort of lost a fight in the feudal age, and then things just snowballed really hard on this map. And it's just really hard to come back from here. I'm actually just gonna, no disrespect to the players, but I'm gonna 2x speed because I really don't see any way out for Cabbage anymore. We'll see how Mamba finishes off. Yeah, we can just mash up a bunch of knights. We could flood the knights over here, getting out mangonels. I kind of would prefer rams personally because they're just a little bit tankier versus Cav, but this is also fine. Yeah, Cabbage calls the GG. That is a victory for Mamba. So Mamba wins the set. So I mean, the polls worked out here. I guess, you know, it sort of worked out right, of the sense of like, well, you can get a big farmer eco with them, just make a lot of army. I mean, I do like the idea of like produce a lot of army, secure the map space, and then you can just flood a bunch of knights in Castle Age, which is a pretty big threat here. I don't know. I mean, Cabbage did get up to Castle Age faster, but the eco just wasn't quite as strong. It's sort of hard to compete with the poles. I'm not really sure what else you could do with the way. Maybe that's why I personally would have preferred Khmer, and you just go for archers. But yeah, it's another map where it's quite snowbally, especially on sudden death and with no access to stone. But yeah, maybe if we were able to switch in Haegwang and Pikemans, but probably what hurt more is missing our eco upgrades, because those would give us some extra vills, which is, you know, kind of the main bonus that the way work with there. But yeah, GG's to both players, and and yeah, I think maybe one thing to take Mamba is like you need to market up. Like, I mean, you don't have to play with the market, but it would make your life a lot easier, because you're like sitting here with enough gold to buy a couple Bugattis, but it's not good for you. You can't buy that in this game. So you need to you need to market up to get up to Castle Age, or, you know, whatever. And yeah, just being a little more active with your army. You maybe, I like adding extra production buildings, but if you're not producing out of the first one, it doesn't add much. But yeah, you know, for Cabbage, you know, I don't know if FC is the plan on every single map. I think I liked it on the first map. It wasn't FC on the second map. You're just up late. That's fine. But hey, I do like on the second, on a hamburger, PickledCabbage, you had some really good fight on the woodlines. I think a lot of players, to be honest, would have just given up if they got denied the wood. But you said, no, I'm going to dig in and I'm going to build a bunch of towers. And I give you respect for that. I mean, I wouldn't pick poles here because most of the games I see are like man-at-arms, skirms, man-at-arms, archers. But hey, I mean, if you're gonna pick them, I don't mind the way you use them. You know, you get the scouts out, you flood knights, build up the full works. It worked out here. It may also have, like, it sort of helped that I don't know that the way had a lot of great options. They're kind of a slower civ. Like the one other thing Wei could go into is like the Xianbei Riders, but the Xianbei Riders, they don't do too much on this map, since like there's really not that much to raid, right? I mean, you could hit these sides here, but everything's quite boxed in. It'd be really easy to make some mangonels or scorpions to counter that. So that's why, you know, man-at-arms, long swords, siege push is typical on this map. But yeah, that's the set there. GG's to both players. I'm going to take a quick break, and then we're gonna cast Tom Aquinas versus XOXO Gossip Girl. So hold on, I don't really have a waiting screen. I guess I'll just do this. But yeah, GG's to both players. I'm curious to see how these two continue. I believe this was the Knights, yeah, Knights division. Alright. I'll talk to you later, OrangeMamba. Hope you appreciated the cast. And for everyone else, I will be taking just a quick 5 minutes break, and I'll write it in the announcements. I'll come back shortly to cast the other set. Alright. Hello everyone. Welcome back. That's the wrong scene. Now we're going to take a look at a different set over in the mangonel bracket. And I'm just going to put in the correct drafts here. One moment. That is the sieves. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at Tom Aquinas versus xoxo Gossip Girl. And this is going to be on Aredo Aya, game number 1. Unfortunate, to be honest. I don't like the map that much. I've seen it a lot. I really don't like it on Sudden Death. But we'll see what the players can do. And then alongside that, we have for the home map, Tom's is going to be Kirby's World. Great map. And then Gossip Girl's going to pick Aquinas as the home map. And for these civ picks, we have Spanish, Burmese, Tatars, Celts, and Wu. Funnily enough, the Burmese were sniped, not the Spanish, which I personally would think Spanish makes more sense to ban, both because they have, the strong, unique unit in Conks, which is something to watch out for in Aquinas, and also they build castles faster. And I know that Burmese have a really dangerous, unique unit in the Arambai, but they don't build castles faster, which I think is a really big threat when it comes to sudden death. But we'll see. On the other side, we have Ethiopians, Georgians, Shu, Malay, and Goths. The Georgians being sniped for Gossip Girl. And I'm not sure immediately what our pick is going to be on Aquinas when I'm looking at it. So on Aquinas, you have 2 castles that you start with. So most of the time, what the typical build is fast castle into double castle unique unit. So you want to think about what's a really strong unique unit. And Ethiopians, they could go for Shotel Warriors. And if you ask Javisti, then of course that's the best unit in the game. After Flemish Militia, of course. And they are good at killing buildings. They're very good at killing TCs. And Ethiopians do have a nice fast castle with the extra gold and food on Age Up. But I'm not sure if it's a good play, because if your opponent has a stronger ranged unique unit, they could probably just kill all of your Shotels before you're able to make anything happen. But we'll see. I don't see any other pick that makes a lot of sense on Aquinas. Huskarls doesn't make that much sense. I mean, again, kind of similar. They could be good at killing buildings. I think Karambit Warriors from Malay would probably be too slow. Too squishy, rather. I think they would die to TC fire too easily. And on the other side, Spanish seems like the obvious choice on Aquinas. Just spam conks. You could also go for just a cheeky forward castle drop on your opponent's TC. That is something I've seen work. Players have done that with Mongols, for example. When it comes to the other maps, we could see Wu or Celts for Kirby's World. It's a hybrid map. It's usually very chaotic, very aggressive. You see a lot of towers and mana arms, so Wu or Celts are both pretty good at that. Even Tatars could probably do that, but Tatars is probably for one of the other ones. I'm not sure. You could see Tatars on Aredo Aya. I mean, knowing Tom, we'll probably see swords every single game, even with the Spanish. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll be surprised. And on the other side, I'm not sure. None of these picks immediately stand out to me. And we could see Malay or Goths on Aredo Aya. They are both good for opening mana arms, which, if anyone saw the previous set that I cast, I think that's kind of the ideal or the sort of meta on Aredo Aya. But let's go ahead and get into the game here. So, game number 1, we have in the blue with the Ethiopians here instead of Aquinas. Gossip Girl has the Ethiopians. Other side, red. Tom picks the Wu. Actually, okay, interesting. Not really. I kind of feel like Javisti with these guesses. Not really the civs I would have thought at all, to be honest. I mean, they can both go mana arms, which is good, right? The Ethiopians, they don't have a special bonus for the mana arms per se, but the fact that on Age Up they get 100 food, 100 gold is quite nice for making it work. The Wu, of course, have nice mana arms, and long term they have the Jan swords, which can be nice on a sudden death setting because of how much pierce armor they have, which can make them good for tearing down town centers. And their infantry regenerate HP, and when you build a production building, you get, I think it's just 50 of 65 food. Although I think that was the original price and it's changed to 55 food. I could be wrong. But in any case, they get food back when they place a production building or a dock. That's another reason why they can be good on a hybrid map, because they, of course, get the food back. And hybrid maps tend to be very tight when it comes to res. I asked, welcome, Tom. Yes, you would be very familiar with this map. It's featured. It's been featured in 7Ps a few too many times, and I don't really enjoy it. I don't really like it on Sudden Death either. I'm actually just going to 2x through the Dark Age now. I've sort of commented on this map already. Not too much to say. There's the boars. It's a very interesting time there. We have the farms. No one's farming yet. Let's see if anyone decides to go out. And this ville? Oh, this ville's fine. But yeah, I'm not sure what the game plan is. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Tom goes for swords. That makes a lot of sense. I kind of would prefer a barracks forward, but that's fine. Maybe blue is just going to go for a straight archers. That could make sense. If you're expecting mana arms, you just open archers. Ethiopians have good ones anyway. Although it's, you know, it's a pretty aggressive map, you still have enough res secured that you can play defensively. I wonder if this is going to become a liability in the long term, though, if we don't wall that up. It's got the mana arms. It's kind of why I would have preferred a barracks was forward, to be honest, but because it got scouted anyway. But that's fine. Actually, this is quite early. I just realized we didn't even click up yet. We're not on gold either, so we... Okay, we're just going to apply some pressure. We're going to get loom now. Alright, well, we should start hitting some walls then if we're going to have militia out already. We're also not on gold, so we can't make a third men at arms yet. What is this? I mean, I guess it's fine because we're not going to go spears probably, and we're not going to open men at arms, but I mean, it's just, it lames our gold. That's fine. I'm sure that won't become an issue in the future. Using military is so boring. Yeah, you know, that's why we should just not even worry about this, right? We should just build some farms. I mean, see, look, you know, Gossip doesn't have any military. We don't have to worry about it. Let's just be peaceful. Rethink that mining camp. And well, you know, they're not like, they're just knocking on the door, right? But it's just a really rickety door. Okay, those come forward. They can drop a range. Drop a range here to block this. Okay, no. I think you should probably block this wall with the range so you don't have to pair it. We actually did catch out this Ville, which is nice. I don't think we're gonna kill it though. I mean, I don't think it's worth losing this scout, but it is kind of nice to delay that archer range. We're actually gonna double range. Okay. We're gonna need a mining camp for sure then. We'll also need double bit axe for sure as well. And the mana arms are through. There's not really much for them to hit though. But they can be annoying. They could go back here. I mean, this is also kind of annoying, but doesn't do that much. Going into skirms. Classic Arabia gameplay here. Okay, double backs is first from Tom. That means, because we have Jawalp and Chris here, that means, of course, Tom has lost the game already. Think about how much more military this could be if it wasn't double bit X. See, look. Your opponent gets it. Why waste the res on double bit X when we could just make more archers and get a blacksmith? Even though we'll need the wood later on. Yeah, the man arms are going to go around, and we can secure some of the farms here, which is nice. That's the benefit of having the military. I don't know if I don't really like the second range. I know that skirm creation time was nerfed, but I don't think you want to spend more res. I think you'd rather have a blacksmith and get your upgrades up. You really don't need two. You don't need two range. I guess one nice thing about the woo, you know, maybe you're just spending 175 wood to get the food back. But I think it's a little bit overkill. We're gonna hit this wall. Delay the archers. You can pull back. Oh, I was gonna say almost perfect because you pull back with like no HP. This is the annoying thing as well. This map is that sometimes the farms don't convert, and then your vills will just attack them, and then it's just. Oh well, okay, now it's converted. I don't know why. That's just doesn't make any sense. Classic DE things. What is this? Oh no. Okay, well, city planning is not one of Gossip Girl's strengths, evidently. Okay, yeah, but the archers are out. These are unupgraded skirms. There's quite a few of them. We might actually be able to out-micro this because we have fletching. This is why I really would have liked to see a second blacksmith instead of the second archer range, but well, we'll see. The eco isn't great for Gossip Girl because we're still long distance mining this gold for some reason, and we don't have like any farms. This is like again. Oh no, we've reseeded this farm. I won't make you answer this question, Tom, but I have a feeling you have automatic farms on by default. Anyway, I'd really like to see a blacksmith, but more just so we can click up, to be honest, because our food eco is a lot better. And now, Gossip Girl's kind of stuck in a corner here. Our archers can't even really hit much either, right? They can't range the gold. Okay, market's up. That's fine. I still think a blacksmith is safer, but sure, if we want to sell the stone, it makes sense. I mean, at least, you know, at least in this case, the farm is actually safe because you can wall back here. But if you start reseeding farms over here, that could be an issue long term. I also like this low HP Vil is quite fearless. But again, no upgrades on the skirms, but there's enough that we probably can threaten this. But we're gonna have to Castle Age way faster. I can't. Oh, just. I mean, we're floating the wood. We could definitely drop a mining camp here. That's fine. We could also drop some farms. I mean, there's a lot of things we could do. And I think we're just going to get to Castle Age. I don't know what the plan is. We could go into John's Swords, which is maybe the genius of why we didn't get any upgrades on our skirms. But we still have a blacksmith. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, we do want to go John's Swords. So that is going to be a good option because all our opponent has is archers, which famously are not very good against the Juan swords. Let's see. I wonder if this Vil back here will survive. Again, these skirms have no upgrades, so they're not really that dangerous. They can still kill quite a bit, though. Are we up late? I think if we sell our stone, we could maybe click up pretty soon, though. The thing is, though, even if we click up soon, what would we do against the John Swords? We go into mana arms, it's like super awkward. Okay, the archers are coming around. Okay, so it worked out because Tom pulled the farmers back, but oh, I was wondering where these went, but okay, we got the skirm armor now for some reason. And then the oh no's dropped. Because I believe Tom's opponent knows what's going to happen. I think Gossip Girl sees the writing on the wall. Sees the armored skirms now. Even elite skirm. I would have preferred to see Siege Workshop, to be honest. Is this Vil still going to live? That would be crazy. We're getting Wheelbarrow. I really don't like that. I'd like to see a click up instead. We might be totally screwed. We still have no mining camp. Okay, well, that's fine. Yeah, I don't know. Oh man, that village lived too. Which is crazy. Oh, there's a tower here. I didn't even see this. I think this is not worth it, and you should have sold your stone instead to click up. And, well, yeah, actually now we have no wood income right now. But we're going to build another lumber camp. That's fine. And our opponent still has not clicked up. So I think Tom is in a pretty good spot. Armor's coming in. So you can see here we're about to have 6 pierce armor. So that does nothing. one damage apiece. Still no mining camp. Of course, we need to save the wood. And no refresh lumber camp. Okay, where's the siege workshop? Okay, there it is. Forging coming in. We could probably start hitting walls now. Double bit axe is coming in. All right. Oh no! Now our village is gonna start long distance mining this. And look, I can't drop a mining camp for this because of the barracks placement. Okay, forging is in. Armor is in. Quan swords are... Oh! I don't think this matters, but almost. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of something... When I have a forward villa, you just do something stupid to kind of waste your opponent's time. I don't know if this would even, like, do anything, but... Yeah, that's exactly what I think when I have a forward ville. Siege tower's coming out. The berries are done. These villas will have to go farm in the back. I don't think the siege tower even like does anything for you. You already resist arrow fire. Just get a ram. Why are we not hitting buildings right now? I mean, surely we'd like a scorpion too, or like a mangonel would be nice. Or like, this is like the one time this doesn't make any sense. We're gonna start fighting the man-at-arm. Okay. A castle. Yeah, I guess if we get Shotels out, that's probably like our one option. And because Tom has not spent any of this time hitting building, I mean, like we don't even need the siege tower. There's an opening. There's an opening right here. What is this? This is Palisade. We don't need the siege tower for that at all. What? And now we can't get out. Just hit the wall. We have arson. Tom, what's going on here? What are you doing? Oh no. Why are we building more? We can't produce out of 5 racks. We have 5 on food. Can we start hitting some walls? Oh no, why are we transporting across the wall? Just hit the walls. These aren't even doing anything. They're just standing there. What is happening here? Meanwhile, Gossip Girl is microing the crossbow. The skirms are just chasing. We have 2 forward barracks for some reason. We finally built a mining camp. The Shotels will kill these pretty quickly, I think, but there's so many Johns, it should be okay. Although they do kill really fast. Okay, so what does Tom do against this? Are we even gonna lose our siege tower, which definitely does not matter. Our town bell is rung. Okay, I think that was just a... I think that was a misclick. Crossbow are almost completely dead. Second armor is in. And now... Yeah, now that they're getting the second armor, they're starting to think about doing something. Okay. I mean, we could at least wait for the second armor, surely. But, okay, that's fine too. I mean, yeah, so this is... Another reason it's really nice to have John's swords on Sudden Death. I think we probably could have done this like 5 minutes ago. This is also fine. I wonder if this is gonna work though. Gossip Girl has been saving a lot of wood from not building the mining camp. But this should still be Tom's game pretty easily because I mean, we're gonna run out of res. We're not gonna run out of wood because we are saving on the lumber camp. We can't make crossbow. We have skirms out. The showtails are a good option, but our food eco is quite tragic. Okay, yeah, look now. Now look. Imagine. Oh, no, they're on stand ground. Okay, that's fine. They still cleared it up. We're building a second siege workshop for some reason, because we forgot about this one, I guess. I don't know what... I'm not sure what's... Okay, I am dead. Come take TC. I don't know. I mean, I do agree. I do agree that xoxo is dead, but like... I don't know. I mean... Okay, that's fine. Also, a mangonel could sit here, and maybe that's what this is for. Okay, okay. Alright. We're on the same wavelength. That's fine. Yeah, just bring the mangonel. This is actually where the castle is quite nice, even though it was really expensive to buy. Eventually, alright, I'm just gonna... I think we... xoxo just wants to see the... Yeah, wants to see the TC go down. To be honorable to the game mode. And, yep. Alright. And that... Oh, no! Showtell. So, realizing the shame of his actions, he, yeah, he ended it all. Alright, well, that was game number 1. That was quite silly. I mean, it was a good game plan. I don't think it needed to go like this because, I mean, Tom has such a big castle age timing advantage. Let's check, right? Yeah, look at this. It's about 5 minutes ahead. So we could have just hit the palisades. We could have used the ramp. I mean, the siege tower didn't even do anything because we didn't even use it to protect from castle fire or anything. And Johns are already good against arrow fire. All right, whatever. We can't get stuck on this too much. I hope that Gossip Girl builds a mining camp in the next game, though, because I think that would help. All right, we're on to game number 2, which is going to be presumably on Aquinas, because that is what Gossip Girl picked for the home map, and typically is the loser. That's what you go for. Vibes only, huh? Yeah, vibes gaming. I can kind of tell. Strategy is questionable. Well, to be fair, I mean, mana arm. You open mana arms, going to John's is still a good option. I mean, in general, but especially on sudden death and especially on a Rado Aya. So it's a good game plan. I'm just a little bit surprised because I feel like they make more sense on the water map Kirby than Celts, but you know, Celts could still be a fine pick for that map as well. So we'll see. But yeah, we're gonna head into game number 2 here. I assume it's gonna be like Spanish versus, I don't even know if Ethiopians aren't an option. Maybe like Spanish versus Malay, Spanish versus Goth. I don't really know. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Spanish. Oh, what? Okay, it's Tatars versus Malay. All right. I see. So we have Tom in the red with the Tatars. Avoided building the houses because we can just capture the castles. And yeah, Spanish is what you would expect here. And wait. Oh yeah, Spanish was indeed Tom's pick. Anyway, yeah, we pick up the castles here. Gives us housing space, and we can produce unique units out of them. Maybe, you know, Tom wants to go for the new and improved Keshiks, which have been buffed recently. I think they were already pretty good, but now they are extra good. I think they're like, you know, slightly better than Knights. Still a good option to go for. You know, Spanish are the obvious pick, of course. So you can't go for that, right? That's too easy. I think, you know, it's going to be Spanish into mana. It's going to be like Spanish archery rush maybe on Kirby's World. Maybe that's the plan. Anyway, we take the boar. Yep, it's fine. I lumber camp. Everything looks pretty standard here. I haven't seen Malay picked on this map. Actually, I haven't seen either of these civs ever picked on this map, to be honest. There's also another option. Instead of like making any unique units, you could just YOLO petards, right? Since you have the castle already, you get like 13 petards. If there's nothing to stop them, they can just kill this. But presumably your opponent is making unique units, so it doesn't work right away. But it can always be an option on sudden death. We'll see. I don't really know what we're going to do with melee. I mean, I know we can spam karambits, but because they produce so quickly, we actually need like a pretty decent eco. And also I don't think they're that good for killing a TC. I think Shotos would be much better. I mean, they're fast to produce, they do melee damage, but they're also very squishy, so I think they will die to castle fire, or TC fire rather. Pretty rapidly. Now we're just taking our res here. Mining camp for Tom. Will Gossip Girl build a mining camp? That's what I'm wondering. We're clicking up. Actually at the same pop, but melee go up faster. Probably too fast. Potentially. I guess we'll see. Let's see how the build works out. And yeah, another thing you'll notice is you can use your castle to tear down the Gaia walls, which you'll want to do, because if you don't do that, then your unique unit cannot get out, of course. Market Blacksmith. Yeah, I think we're up a little bit too fast, but not a huge deal. I don't mind grabbing loom since your vills tend to be quite exposed on this map, but probably a few too many on berries, but that's fine. Up to castle age, but again, I don't know what we're gonna do because our eco is pretty bad. Mining camp is built, but I don't think we're gonna be able to spam out karambits. Now, if Tom doesn't go for Keshik, I really don't. I have no idea what this could be. I mean, you could go CA. It doesn't really make that much sense. You could go for Fast Imp, Flaming Camels. That's of course a very good idea. We can slow down now. So yeah, karambits are coming out. Again, I just don't think they're great here. And yeah, we already have stopped producing them. Make a few more, but now we're out of res. I don't think 10, 11, 12, 15 karambits even is going to be enough. But hey, maybe I'll be proved wrong. Gotta run past the castle. And we could also hit this, right? Hit the wood line. That could be good. I think Keshiks will just obliterate these, to be honest, but yeah, I'm ready to be proved wrong as well. Karambits circle around, and they can start eating up vills. Did we get loom? We did not get loom! I think... Oh, that's super greedy. I don't think you can not get loom on this map because your vills end up so exposed. Even if you both go fast castle, you know your opponent wants to go into unique unit. So that's unfortunate. We also could have walled for sure, but... Siege Workshop, okay. We're not producing anything. I mean, Keshik is food gold, right? Food gold, food gold, food gold. Yeah. We should definitely be making some Keshiks here. But at least we have loom. I like the Siege Workshop. That could be a ram. I mean, I guess we are able to afford quite a bit of karambits here. But I think they would just die if Tom made Keshiks. But instead, Tom is making nothing. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, if we spend our res, and we could make some Keshiks right now. So I'm not... I mean, I don't know. Are we... Is it... Tom, don't tell me you're actually trying to go fast in Flaming Camel as your opponent has 24 karambits and a Siege Workshop. Oh, you can't even see that. Okay, now we make... This is so late, but at least we're making them now. I actually think with this many karambits, we also probably need to get at least the first armor. Mangonel is fine, but I prefer a ram personally since your opponent has Keshiks. But I don't mind it. That's also good. Bill's coming forward to just take wood. Okay, 4 catches. We definitely need more than that. They can dive the mangonel. This is kind of why I prefer a ram. But yeah, I mean, I prefer a ram here, but we did do some damage to the catches, which is nice. Still not making anything. Another mangonel. Wish this was a ram. It's fine. If you're going for fast imp, you have to click a way later. That's never gonna work. I know this is vibes only, but the vibes could be a little bit better is all I'm saying. I mean, there's no way that this would ever work. You're just gonna die. Well, hey, I mean, look, maybe your genius is just far greater than mine, but like staring death in the face and you're like, no, we have time to wait. I mean, the Keshik raid could do a lot of damage, to be fair. We stopped producing anything. Again, I think a ram would go pretty hard here. Maybe less so with the mangonel. The market is the center of our economy. 30 karambits now. Actually 40. I don't know where the other 10 are. I guess they're just gathering here. They might go to clear this up in the near future. Oh, that's a big hit. So yeah, we can run this down, but we do have to be careful because they die pretty fast. And if you see, look how fast they die. That's why a ram would be nice. But yeah, now this, look how exposed it is too. We do have a villa at least to repair, which is good. Okay, we're building another ram. Tom is never gonna get up to imp, but that's still the game plan. It looks like. I mean, if we lose all of our karambits to a mangonel shot, that could still work. Keshik actually could break through here, and then we have no wood eco for Gossip Girl. Actually, okay, looks like that is gonna happen. So that is good. We're gonna repair this. We can't do this. There's a castle here. You know what actually would go really hard on this? Was just like a couple of elephants. Elephants would be much better to dive for the siege workshop. I know they don't have a lot of armor, but probably better than karambits. We cleared out the lumber vills, which is good. Yeah, I don't know. Tom, I don't know what you were thinking here, man. You don't... There's no way this is gonna work. Also, we keep spending food on bills, so... We're just going further and further from him. I mean, this just like... It never works. Big mangonel hit though. See, this is where like a elephant's goat would be really nice addition. And also imagine if this was a ram. If you had like 2-3 rams, this Tasty would be dead already. But I think it's gonna die anyway, since Tom is just really committed to the idea. Okay. Again, another reason why I prefer rams here. I know they die fast to cav, but they die less fast than a mangonel. Now this mangonel's gonna die. Oh, we're finally building a ram. That's good. I think we're gonna lose this mangonel again. So we could have had 3 ram. Oh. I mean, this is some nice damage actually from Tom, but there's no upgrades in the Keshiks, and there's just like they're super low HP. So that being said, the eco is quite tragic for Gossip Girl as well. Down to 20 vills. It's feudal age eco. Yeah, we've actually lost so much. Tom might be in an okay position again. Although, I mean, it still looks really bad. Double bit X coming in now. No double bit X for blue. It was definitely a grand experiment. I'm yet to see that you've learned something from this, but I guess we'll see next time. Next time you play Akare. Okay, yeah, 2 rams. I don't mind wait for 3 rams. It's kind of dicey at this point, but 3 rams is a good number to go for. Tom has the tower, so this cannot be hit. We're still in wood here, so that's fine. Now we're making petards. Okay. I kind of would prefer we just go to a 3rd ram. And we go for a big push. We don't really have the food for many petards. Making keshiks now. I don't mind that we're like looking around for other stuff Tom could be doing, but we also have a scout to do that. I think it makes more sense to keep the pressure on. We actually have a better eco for Tom, funnily enough. And 10 more vills. Because we haven't been producing for Gossip Girl. We can get a 3rd ram now. Things have calmed down a bit. We're still not making more keshiks. 13 farms. 8 farms. The efficiency on this mining camp is a bit tragic, but at least they're protected. I wouldn't mind a stable and some elephants. But actually, if you can garrison a ram, that could also kill Mangonel, right? That is another option. I'm gonna repair the TC. Coming forward the Karambit. Floating a lot of wood. I mean, at this point, you could also think about dropping a dock. We don't usually see that happen because it's it slows everything down. But the game's gone long enough, you might think it's worth doing, especially if you're floating a lot of wood. We lost a lot of our Karambits. Okay, we're coming forward with the petards. I don't mind this, but I think we should send everything at the same time. Right? Send our Karambits with the rams, with the petard. No, don't. No. No. This is not the way to do it. You're just gonna lose your rams for nothing. But why? Why, though? But why did we do this? What was the purpose? We built up all of this. We waited for so long. And then we just threw our rams away. I'm starting to think that the governor for the Malay here is like doing some kind of embezzlement with the funding for the rams or something. Your puzzling moves, Tom, have infected your opponent. I just don't know. I mean, the petards could still work. But I just don't know, like, if we massed up petards, why did we just send our rams in and now we send Karambits and oh dear. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. It's all part of the master plan. The petards are coming forward. The siege workshop's gonna die. The Karambits are gonna die again. Again, it's like, why do we not send everything at once? Okay, but yeah, we pulled the Keshik away. We hope that Tom has a very low APM and is just chasing these Keshiks. Well, actually, I don't think he's looking there. I don't know where. Yeah, make sure there's a tag notification. You just charge her the petards. I think it's over. That's over. Okay. All right. 79 Karambit warriors to 8 Keshiks. Okay. Yeah. 79 Karambits to 8 Keshiks. Interesting. We even have 3 petards left over. So, yeah. I mean, as I said, petards can still be quite strong because of how exposed everything is. I think if Tom had just... Well, Tom was attempting something far greater than any of us could imagine, and it didn't pay off, right? I don't know if I have much... I think I said everything I could say about that game. Clearly, it's just beyond my capabilities. So let's head on to game number 3. Now we're going on to Kirby's World, which, as you might imagine, is a map shaped like the Eldritch Horror Kirby. You can see here on the map, How beautiful. We have extra wood down here, here, and then the main wood is here. It's just very exposed. A tower can do a lot of damage along with range units. Yeah, now Spanish is being picked here. So we have Spanish for Tom in the red. The other side, Goths for the blue. Now the normal play would be you just YOLO, fast castle drop with the Spanish. But of course Tom, you know, is made of vibes, of course. So there's going to be a different game plan. I'm not sure what that game plan is, to be honest. And I'm not going to even try and predict it at this point. It's going to be something unusual and strange. But I assume Kazagoro has in mind something that's a little more typical on this map, which is you go for like a dock, and you go for man-at-arms into like skirm or tower or whatever. Can be quite nice. Goths, of course, also get a bonus with their infantry to buildings, which can be good on a sudden death setting, as we saw with the John Swords in game number 1. I don't really rate them that highly compared to a lot of other civs. Like Wu would be much better here, but yeah, they could still be fine. House almost lames our woodline as well, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I don't know really what to predict here. I hope Tom's still going to dock though, because I think you should always dock on this map. Even if you're just going to make a few fishing ships and then just abandon it. It does kind of become a liability as far as attention goes, because you have a lot going on. You have army to manage over here. You have like a tower on your gold. You're like Ville rushing. Things get very messy and chaotic in this map. It's a fun one. But that's why it's nice to just like send 1 or 2 fires forward and just forget about the water. And it's just like an early eco bonus. On to gold. We have the barracks up, so we definitely want to go for men-at-arms here for the Goth player, which makes a lot of sense. A more delayed uptime, so it definitely could be FC. Onto stone. Scout ran into the TC, which is unfortunate because it's fixed position. I've done that all the time, though. I can't criticize. Militia are forward. Actually, have 4 of them. And they're going to come in on the wood line. Ooh. Okay, nice walls up in time. Come around the other side. We're going to wall this. Okay. We want a forward tower. We haven't scouted the stone, actually, which is unfortunate. Well, actually, we scouted, but we haven't seen that our opponent's on the stone. I think, definitely, especially against Spanish, we want to go check that. Oh, sorry. I realized I've done 2 times this whole time. My bad. Slow the game down. Man-at-arms upgrades coming in. And we still haven't seen the stone. So this is a more normal play for Spanish, especially on sudden death. But I don't know if we're going to actually make it happen. We're denied of wood. We should still have enough for a blacksmith and market, but we might not get enough stone. We see the stone. So now we know what to predict. Nice walls. Yep, another wall here. These are blocked off, but we don't have any military for Tom, and we're not going to have any military for a while, so this will eventually go down, but we just need to get enough stone to get a castle. Yep, market blacksmith here. Yeah, on the other side, Gossip Girl knows what's happening. No dock! No dock from either player. I just realized, I think even if we're going for a build like this, like actually having fish eco here would be amazing. And it would be so amazing as well for the defending player. I actually think that's a pretty big mistake, but we'll see. We would have had enough food already. We're gonna tower here. Yeah, I don't think that's worth it. I still don't think that's worth it. We had to sell some stone for the gold to click up. It's a pretty late tower for this. Might still be worth because Tom doesn't have the stone. And where else is there stone though? Stone here. Stone here. Have we scouted that? We have not scouted that. Okay. We're just gonna go around the side, but oh, the men-at-arms are in. Tower is up. This tower doesn't really do much for us now. We're not even clicked up yet. Yeah, we're really strapped for res. And now this tower can be rushed. Actually, is it ranged? Okay, it is ranged by the tower, the TC at least. Yeah, I think we had to actually just tower on the stone itself to defend this. One saving grace is Tom could actually just run into the stone, but we don't even have enough wood to drop a mining camp. Oh no, we're losing everything back here. Oh, this is brutal. See, this is another reason why the dock would actually pay for itself, because we'd have food to help us click up and we could sell it. Okay, we're gonna go on gold here. Now, xoxo has invested a lot more, which I actually don't like this at all. Like, there's no need to make more man-at-arms. We could just scout with a few of these and see what's happening. We need to get up to Castle Age, and we're really delayed. If we had fish, we would be up much faster as well, but c'est la vie. We're gonna try and get back onto wood now, but the tower prevents this. Now, the one other place for wood is like here, but you can see how xoxo is controlling that already with the man-at-arms. I'm gonna drop a tower here. Okay, we're gonna rush this down. Well, that's good. That's a bit of a mistake for blue to not wall that in. And Barry's about to run out. You could still dock, I think, but I don't think making more man-at-arms is the option here. I mean, I know that we don't know. Tom has a horrendous eco. We should assume the worst case that our opponent has enough stone to drop a castle. And in which case, these man-at-arms do absolutely nothing. But we did defend this tower, actually. That's quite good. Again, there's like no res. No res for Tom at all. We don't have the stone. And our vills are weak. We need way more stone. It actually would have been a game changer if we stalled this stone. Because then we actually could have just gone for that instead of this. Because our opponent has not spotted this at all. And we're just gonna run to 17 vills. I mean, this is paying off for xoxo, but it is super risky to just stay in feudal like this and not click up much faster. But to be fair, I mean, you know, you see you're doing a lot of damage. But look, 650. That's all we need. These are Spanish builders. You can go now. And what are we gonna do? xoxo can't stop this. We have to go now. Why are we waiting? You can't wait. Tom, please go now. This is the whole plan. Why are you just sitting around? You cannot wait. Oh, that was so late. But okay, we're going now. I don't think xoxo can actually stop this because our man-at-arms are out of position. We don't see Tom's vills anywhere. Like anywhere at all. This is the only place we haven't seen. The man-at-arms are coming forward, but I don't think they're going to be there in time. Drop it right here. You need to drop it right away. You cannot... No. You drop it here. Here. There it is. Okay, these are Spanish builders. Does it go up? This is the only hope for Tom. If this is denied, it's totally over. Some quick walling comes in. It's a little late. The vills come in. I think this still goes up, though. See, the man-at-arms were out of position. These vills cannot get in. The castle goes up. And this is a pickle. We can't afford anything for Tom. Like, we can't even afford a single conquistador. Which is actually the funny thing. If we had a single conquistador, all of this would die for blue. Imagine also if we can't even make petards. This actually still might be game over for Tom. Well, I don't know. We're not defending. We don't have any wood. xoxo might actually be throwing his... Well, no, the man-at-arms are going to fight back. I'm actually not sure anymore. I mean... I don't know anymore, to be honest with you. Now, if this was a normal game, this is like... this does not do anything. Like, it's totally over. But the fact that this town center going down is game over is the only reason why this is any potential for Tom. But at the same time, xoxo could just be taking wood. And this wouldn't be an issue. The problem is we, like, spent so much on feudal age, and we're wasting a lot of building time. Like, if we were in castle age, we could have knights out to kill the vills. We could have a siege workshop. But yeah, as is, this is interesting. We're about to be out of wood. This is we need to send some vills. No, we don't need to be seeding a farm right now. That's not what we should be doing. But yeah, for Tom, this is kind of like we just kind of sit here. I think Gospel Girl has defended this though. Yeah, I think it's defended. We had enough res to like spend and buy a wood, and there's no res for Tom at all. I'm actually curious, what is the bonus damage on a building? Stone defense. I actually don't think a castle is stone defense for some reason, so I think it's just 3 plus 3, so like 4 damage without sappers or anything. That kind of looks like less than that. Well, anyway, it's not a lot, but it will be enough. But again, if you imagine, like, if Tom had enough eco for 1 conch, everything would die. But that is not the case. We're down to global pop of, what is that, 29? 30 actually. And I think I'm just gonna 2 times speed because I don't think. Oh, wait. Okay, this is what I was talking about. Oh no, Gossip Girl. This is what I was worried about. A single conquistador is all Tom needed. That's why you needed to get up to castle age. I mean, like, imagine. Well, okay, we can't imagine anymore. This is actually still is a game because we can't go up to castle age. We might never go up to castle age because Gossip Girl just committed to hitting the castle when we could have just taken res and defended. Oh, this is is Gossip Girl actually gonna lose this game? 4 vills. We could also honestly hit this. Yeah, okay, yeah. There's nothing for Tom to defend this. So actually, if we repair this and go hit this, that's a win con. Now Tom, on the other hand, has a single conquistador that's gonna come over. But that does mean that these vills are fine. And everything comes back for Tom. Gossip Girl goes back. This town star's gonna die. We need to repair it. We need to repair this. Oh no. No, it's not GG. What? You can repair it. Why do we call GG? Tom has 1 cog and 4 vills. Wow. I mean, I don't know what to say about that one. I feel like Blue really snatched defeat from the jaws of victory there. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, well, okay. It is what it is. That's what happened. I forgot to add this, but that's a 2-win win for Tom. The thing is, like, there are so many things that Blue could have done differently that would have won us the game. It was like that was a really tight margin. I think even in here it looks really bad for us, but still, if we repair this, our opponent has no eco. Like, we could even just build archers. I guess we kind of like we kind of committed ourselves to the situation when we started fighting this instead of just taking res. Like the ego was so bad for Tom. Literally one conch was all that could be afforded. But you know, we could have walled here. We could have scouted around a little bit better with the man-at-arms. Probably made a few too many towers instead of just selling and clicking up. I think a dock would have helped both players immensely. But well, hey, that's sudden death. That's how it goes sometimes. Yeah, this was definitely something, Tom. I mean, it's pretty typical of your games, to be fair. But yeah, I'm not. That's yeah, 3,000 res difference, and that was definitely something. I'll tell you that much. I mean, these stats are not even useful for anything. Yeah, well, that was quite the game. Well, anyway, that was interesting. I think that's going to be it for me, folks. I hope you all enjoyed this experience. And, well, hope you all have a good one. I might do some casting later this week. I don't know yet. Probably have a lot of stuff to take care of. But, yeah, congrats to Tom. Good luck to Gossip Girl on the rest of the games. I hope next time you run into this, though, you just, like... I know you can't stonewall, but you just wall here or something. Anyway, well, that's all. Thanks, everyone, for coming. I'll catch you another time. Laters.